If you're first starting out in the wet on wet oil painting technique, you might be struggling with painting clouds. So in this video, I'm going to break it down using only 2 colors and 2 brushes. The 2 brushes I'm using are a 2-inch Bob Ross landscape brush and a number 6 fan brush. And the 2 colors I'm using are phthalo blue and titanium white. It's important to note that I also already have a thin layer of liquid white applied to the canvas. If you need a quick tutorial on how to apply the perfect amount of liquid white, make sure you check out the video linked in the description box down below. To begin, I'm taking a dry, clean 2-inch brush, and I'm just going to drag it through a very small amount of phthalo blue. You need just a small amount of phthalo blue because a little bit goes a long ways. And what we're going to be doing is starting in the corners. I'm using small crisscross strokes like this. And I'm going to apply the blue as our sky background. This is really going to help us make our white clouds pop. Notice that I'm using these crisscross strokes and I'm putting the phthalo blue in various points across the canvas without spending too much time in any one particular area. I'm keeping my brush moving all of the time, and the phthalo blue is interacting with the liquid white behind it. Okay, next you can begin to blend the sky just by using slightly longer strokes and letting it pull out. Okay, finally we want to just drag our brush all the way across the sky to blend it all together really nicely. Now that phthalo blue has given us the perfect backdrop for our white fluffy clouds. Let me show you how to do those next. Now I've switched out my 2-inch brush for a number 6 fan brush, and I'm just pulling it through the titanium white very liberally. You want quite a bit of paint on here, quite a lot of paint. One technique or tip that I like to do is to just wiggle the fan brush through the paint to make sure that it's evenly coated. Now, up to our canvas, I'm going to take just the corner of the number 6 fan brush. I'm going to place it against the sky here, and I'm just going to make upward motions, and I'm keeping that brush moving around. Do you see that? And let's do another one over here. I've flipped the brush around, and I'm going to do another one here. I'm kind of making little push-up marks as I'm moving the brush across the canvas. So from here, I want to go back to my 2-inch landscape brush, and using just the corner of the 2-inch landscape brush, I'm just going to tickle the cloud and blend out just the bottom. Now you want to make sure that you are blending all the way up to the very edge of your cloud, but you're not over blending that edge. You want to make sure that you're leaving just enough of that white edge to where it's really crisp and sharp. Okay, so from here I like to clean off my brush and then make these little comma marks, these comma motions up in a little swooping fashion like this, and then go back and forth to set it in. So let's do this one over here. Again, wiping off the brush, I'm just taking the corner and I'm getting right up to the edge, tickling it in, smoothing and blending it out, using just 2 hairs and some air, as Bob would say. Just blending it out, getting right up to the edge, but you don't want to overpower the edge. You want to leave that little bit of a white outline at the top. Okay, I like that. And now I'm going to do my lift ups, little comma strokes like this, and then the larger blends like this to just set it into the canvas. Okay, so now let's do another layer of white. Now that we've got the the back edge of our cloud. Let's do another layer in front. So I have not cleaned my brush, same old dirty brush, back onto the fan brush. And I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to come down a ways a little bit because I want to be able to see that nice blended area of the back of the cloud. So I'm just doing little push-ups. This is just how I like to do the clouds. I like them a little feathery like this with these edges on them. There's one. And I'm just flipping the brush around, and let's do another one. And I'm keeping the brush moving and moving around in different shapes and forms. Okay, there we go. Switching back to my 2-inch landscape brush. Just gonna tickle those edges again with 2 or 3 hairs and some air. Just blending it in, buffing it, being very gentle and cognizant not to eliminate the white outline. Just really tickling all the way up to that edge, using little circular motions, sometimes some ups and downs. Okay, I really like that. I'm going to keep buffing this out a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to do my lift ups and my 2 crosses to set it into the canvas. Let's do the other one over here. Okay, so I'm back to the corner of the 2-inch landscape brush. I'm just tickling it on the edge, on the very bottom. Very light touch. No pressure. Bringing all of that down. And you can see how I'm holding the brush. I'm not holding it right on the paddle of the brush. I'm holding it on the stem or the handle of the brush. And I'm just moving it back and forth, tickling it. And then when I like it, I'm going to lift up in my commas and do my little X's to set it into the canvas. That looks really nice. All right, let's do one more layer. I'm going back to my canvas with a dirty brush. No need to clean it. Give my little wiggles. All right, let's do a little cloud right here. I'm pushing it in and I'm moving my whole entire arm. See how I'm doing that? Let's go back over here. I'm moving the fan brush in various shapes. Okay, that looks good. Now let's blend those out. Using just the corner of the brush. 2 hairs and some air. Blending those little clouds out. Maintaining the outline of the top white edge. Okay, and then when you like it, do our comma stroke, very light. This is so light. There's no pressure on this brush. And then setting it back with our 2 X's. And that's a super simple way to make white fluffy clouds using the wet on wet oil painting technique. I hope you liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe.